I want to answer another question that comes up a lot with sellers, and I don't think we addressed it yet properly in a video by itself. And the question is, what if the buyer doesn't pay when they're in my home as a rent-to-own or lease purchase? Well, there are two answers to that. One is, if you're doing the lease with us guaranteeing you the cash out on or before a certain term, what happens during the term has nothing to do with you. You have no worry about it. You have no headaches. We are the buyer. We are guaranteeing on or before the cash out date that we agreed upon to make sure you're cashed out. Now, let's just address that before we go to option two. If something was to happen during that time period, what does that mean? It means we have to deal with it. Has that ever happened? Yes, it's happened. It happens about once a year to us out of 30 or 40 deals, so it's not too bad. It's usually when someone has a life event. It's not a financial default usually, because remember, we're taking enough down payment up front with our attorneys at their formal signing, so they have enough skin in the game, so we don't typically see a financial default. What we will see once or twice a year, it's inevitable, and you nor I can predict it, and that is a life event, a divorce, a death. Had one recently where a gentleman called and said, my father-in-law had a second heart attack, I've got to move out of state. Those things we can't help. What did we do? Just so you know, while you're waiting for your cash out, we simply went to our database and went to the list of people that showed interest in the home, remarketed it, and filled it immediately. It happened once last year and once the year before, so it's not a big deal. Now, so you just have your cash out. Now, what's option two? Option two, if you remember, is a much shorter term, usually 12 to 24 months. Not much shorter, but shorter, 12 to 24 months. And that option has us procuring the buyer like we normally would, because we have the right to do so with our arrangement, but then you and I agree that we may assign that back to you. Now you're collecting the check. Now what happens if a life event pops up in that scenario? Well, same thing really. You call us instead of doing it yourself, and you say, can you redo it? Or the market's gone up so much you might decide to just pop it on the market and sell it outright. See, it's not a bad thing for you, because in most cases there's a mortgage on the property, in most cases, so you got the benefit of the principal pay down throughout that term if you're going with this option two. On the other one you don't. And also the market presumably has gone up because we're in an uptrending market. So either way, it's not a bad thing. The short answer is if they stop paying, we refill it, whether you do it or whether I do it. And I hope that helps. If you have any other questions regarding that, or make sure you talk with one of our team members, but just know that the system's in place to safeguard against that. Okay? Make it a great day.